Good evening. I'm Brady Alderson, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. The Cornhusker volleyball team is primed for a third-round matchup against number 16 Kansas on Friday. Nebraska's game will take place 30 minutes after the conclusion of number 9 Louisville and number 6 Texas A&M. Nebraska comes in with a 32-game win streak, tied for the second longest streak in school history, as they put their unbeaten record on the line against the Jayhawks. The 24th-ranked Husker women's basketball team improved to 10-0 last night after a routing of in-state foe Omaha. The 10th straight win is tied for the third-longest streak in program history. Nebraska will look to stay undefeated come Sunday when the Huskers host Illinois State. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Coming up next is Hour 1 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Served by Olivia straight ahead to the back right. Clinton guides it to her setter, gets it back, swings. Big block, Harper Murray, 25-21. Nebraska survives the second set. Pulls away at the end. It was a one-point ball game at 22-21. Final 25-21. The final three rallies belonged to Nebraska.
Dix posing with it, trapped. Is he going to call timeout? It's taken away. He just took that out of his hands. Here's Sam. Here's Frager. Frager over to Hoiberg in the left corner. Starts down the baseline. Puts it up and in and one. Holy smokes. What a sequence. The takeaway on the defensive end and the finish on the offensive end by Sam.
96-78 Nebraska steal for the Huskers. Nissley to Prince. Huskers have 3-on-2. Prince underneath. Williams leaves it for Hargrove, who scores a career-high 26 for Amaya. Timeout Penn State. 1:14 to go. It's a 20-point game. 98-78 Nebraska. 1:14 to go.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the show, everybody. Just a short one once again for us, just an hour here for Kyle and me before we will hand things over to Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith, the viral sensation, Kent Pavelka.
Yes, and we'll have a camera on the table today, so hopefully things go well for the Big Red, and maybe we'll have another viral Pavelka clip.
It was so funny. Again, we're talking about if you missed it on our social media platforms, Kyle put a GoPro on Kent during the Creighton game, and he cut up a few of the clips of some of the calls. And then we posted it, and then it's just absolutely blown up. Like, there's hundreds of thousands of views, and it's got picked up by Fox College basketball, and he said the radio caller.
Nebraska radio caller. There's a lot of fans that aren't a big fan of that label.
Put some respect on his name, Kent Pavelka.
His name is Kent Pavelka. Get to know the name.
And he'll be right here on the Huskers Radio Network again tonight here in just about 55 minutes or so. We will hand things over to him, and we got a big one tonight with Wisconsin as they look to keep it rolling and also go 10-0. We saw the women go 10-0 last night. Hopefully the men can make it 10-0 tonight, but it's a tough one. And Big Ten conference play begins with the two here in December.
Yeah, and going back to the women, it was a slow start last night. Eventually picked it up and won that one going away. But for the men, they sort of got rid of those early woes for home games, got off to a fast start against Creighton, although offensively it was kind of hit and miss, literally, to start against Creighton, but you got out to a 15-2 start. Can you get off to a fast start tonight? Should be a really good crowd. It's tough because it's an 8 local tip-off, so some people in the middle of the week, it's hard to get over to PBA, but I know the student section is going to be loud. But this is the new season, right? If you truly want to take that next step and become a tournament team, one, you're going to have a lot of opportunities for resume-building wins within the Big Ten, and it starts here tonight against a very good Wisconsin team. You'll have Illinois over the weekend, so you get greedy and say, yeah, you want to win both of these games, but I think the most important thing, and you mentioned this yesterday, is you got to protect your home floor. How many of these home conference games can you win? Because in the end, that'll average itself out and put you in a good spot to be a tournament team.
I know I've talked about it a lot and we've brought it up a lot, but it is that important to this group because you go back to when this team made the NCAA tournament, a lot of it, big part of the argument and the case that they built was because they were unbeaten at home during Big Ten conference play. And it is so hard to win on the road in this conference. Coach Hoiberg, he says it, I feel like every time I talk to him, like it's you got to protect PBA. And so get out to a good start, get the crowd rocking. And this is you're going, you'll be out there. It's fun. It's a little bit of a rivalry between Nebraska and Wisconsin on the basketball court. It's kind of fun. You can tell the intensity will step it up a notch. I feel like it was a little bit deflated because Nebraska just punched Creighton in the mouth so quickly that it wasn't like a fight that normally it is, just a battle between these two teams. So it was just basically Nebraska dominated the whole time against Creighton. But usually with Wisconsin, you can tell there's a lot of emotion and intensity in these matchups.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in the Big Ten. The thing about the Creighton game is they just couldn't hit any shots. Now, credit, Nebraska defensively was good, but there was wide open shots that Creighton could not hit.
They're out of sorts.
So you go into a game figuring, okay, Wisconsin's going to play a little bit better offensively. Even if you have the same defensive intensity, Wisconsin, they have to play better offensively than what we saw from Creighton. And these, when you get in conference play, the personnel a little bit more, tendencies a little bit more. So the scouting is easier, but also now it's a Nebraska men's basketball program that of recent years has not had to play with prosperity, a ranking, a number in front of your name, playing with expectations, playing with a target on your back.
Being favored
in games. And I talked to Fred about that when we had him on the coaches show earlier this week. And he said, look, yeah, we'll take a day after Creighton, go through the film, what he calls a cleanup day, and now we quickly move on to Wisconsin. When you're Sunday to Wednesday and that's your turnaround, you're 24 hours past that Creighton game, and you've probably put that to the side and you're fully on Wisconsin. This team's going to be prepared. Just probably get ready for more of a dogfight tonight.
I'll tell you, I'm a little, and Kent and I talked about this going into the Creighton game, a little concerned with the bench at this point with the depth and just hopefully, I know Leo was back the other day, but I know Oogie's working hard to get back and they're hoping that he'll be back soon. Coach Hoiberg talked about that with you the other day on his segment, but it's such a grind and such a battle and fight every single night in the Big Ten, and you've got two really tough ones coming up here in this week that I hope that the depth isn't a problem for this team in these next few games.
I think there's a few things tonight that I'm going to look for. I think Kel Jacobson in the game, he played his role, didn't really look to score. Can he become more of a scorer in certain areas tonight? I think Coach McDermott, head coach of Creighton, had mentioned that Sam Hoiberg was one of the big differences in the blowout win. Just his ability, to defend, play with a high motor, but drive to the rim, make plays going to the rim and scoring with that aggressive tact. And then guys like, Jared Garcia, how much of a factor is he when you need rebounding, you need physicality underneath? Berke, he's going to get his fair look of open shots, Jess, and because the scouting report now tells you don't guard him by the arc. But if you hear what everybody's saying, Fred and
he can shoot it. It just hasn't transitioned to games.
It's gone to practice. He's done it in practice, so he has the green light because he's practiced it, and he's going to see a lot of open shots because you have to give away certain things to get certain things. Rink Mast they're not going to give him a lot of airspace. They're not going to give some of these guys airspace, and Berke is going to get his a fair shot at open looks. Is he going to knock him down?
Yeah, and see, that's what, again, calling the games and seeing how they've guarded him and then noticing what Creighton did. They gave Berke a lot of space. And so I think maybe that will continue to be a trend until Berke makes teams respect him. But, going back to last season, they started to get some things rolling. And Berke hurt his ankle. And it was when he was starting to play his best basketball. And without rink and having a big to be able to stretch the floor, that really, you could tell it was really something that Berke, when he was getting his confidence, it was going to be something that he could continue to contribute. But he just hasn't found it yet this season, but he's certainly capable of it. And when he does, it makes his team that much more dangerous.
Yeah, and you mentioned Rink's name. His ability when the ball's in his hands, he's a triple threat. There's many things that he can do with the ball, but he allows other guys on the floor to get open looks. And you've talked about this. Rink's ability, not just as a scorer, but as a poster, but as a facilitator. When you get him the ball in the mid-post or on the low block, there's a lot of guys. His vision goes in a lot of different directions, so he can beat you in so many different ways. I think it's from the land of the obvious that Rink Mast is a difference maker here tonight, but not necessarily just as a scorer, but what can he be as a facilitator to get some of the other guys involved?
I asked this to Coach Hoiberg a few years ago about Derek Walker, and he said Derek Walker was one of the best passing big men he's ever played with, coached in his entire basketball life. I wonder where Rink now ranks among that, because I know it's important. It's an important skill set. And it goes back to when Coach played with somebody. There's a reason why it's become such an important part of what he wants to do. But I'd be curious to see where Rink now ranks on his top passing big men list.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things just players that come from other countries, specifically like European bigs that have the ability to stretch the floor, that play with a much more of a versatility than, say, some guys that are born and raised in America and play a traditional 4 or a 5. I think you always tend to see that with some of the bigs that come from, European countries, that the way they play over there is a lot different, where they have the ability to stretch the floor, and you see that in Rink's game. I mean, I said this to Coach the other day. The matchup nightmare that he creates for a defense, his ability to shoot a 28-footer, a contested 3, score on the block, again, assist, and all these different things that he does can defend at a high level. He is the difference between this team being an NCAA tournament team and probably not being an NCAA tournament team.
All right, well, that's our preview, I guess, our quick preview to the pregame show. But we are going to keep talking hoops. Nebraska women's basketball, again, 10-0, another top 25 team. So I had a chance to chat with Logan Nissley last night after the win over Omaha. So we'll talk women's hoops coming up here on the other side of this. Count on Medica to protect your team with affordable group health plans, flexible benefits, and the close-to-home care they want. Husker Nation, you're not just covered, you're cared for. Learn more and get a quote at medica.com.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate it. And F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power onboard.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Here at Boot Barn, our objective is to build the perfect boot. We do take our time ensuring that every step is done correctly. For a boot to last you for a lifetime, you've got to properly build the boots. Hand craftsmanship is, in my opinion, the only way you're going to achieve that. We handcraft our boots. 160 people take a boot from start to finish. We have skilled artisans at every stage of the game. We've been handcrafting boots since the beginning here at Boot Barn, and we'll continue to do so.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play, knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Well, Nebraska women's basketball also ranked in the top 25, coming out this week up to number 12 in the net rankings. And they are 10-0 now after a victory, a big victory over Omaha. Omaha, a little bit of a struggling team, but they came out ready to play last night. And so it was a little bit of a tough stretch getting going. Also, Omaha threw some junk defenses at Britt, and it took them, I think, a little bit. But I don't know if that's going to be the last time that Nebraska sees a junk defense to try to slow down Britt Prince.
No, it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of that moving forward for her. But it was a really, really slow start. Omaha had 15 points in the first quarter. I think led 10-3 at one point. It was, I think Fred pointed it out in his press conference, and it became this big thing, but they were 62.5-point favorites over Omaha, and it's a team that has they put out a graphic the other day for tryouts. Their first-year head coach, it's one of those programs that's really going through it, but I think if you're Amy Williams, you sort of liked how you played in the second quarter, finished the game out, but I don't know if you're all that thrilled with how you played. And now you're already gotten off to a 1-0 start in Big Ten play. So, take what you need out of this game and move on to the next.
Callan Haig, I think it was almost like people were so shocked how open they were at times,
There were some open threes last night.
But Callan Haig got it going, really started the run, and then,
They took 40 threes last night, Jess.
Yeah.
40 of them.
I mean, they put it up. I mean, it's not like, that's a lot, but this is a team that
took 76 shots
usually
overall.
does shoot a
That's a lot of shots. That's a lot of possessions, a lot of shots.
All right. Well, I had a chance to chat with Logan Nissley following the win. Just started off by asking her what were the big takeaways following this one.
Yeah, I think there's always things that we can learn from these type of games, and just going into every game, we know what our standard is, and so just playing up to that and making sure that we play Husker women's basketball no matter who our opponent is. But I think we keyed in on some things that we did really well. I think we share the ball really well as a team, and we're averaging like a really positive assist-to-turnover ratio, and I think that's a big takeaway from this.
It seemed like they were doing a little funky things defensively, too. How good is that just to, again, experience something like that where you have to make in-game adjustments and maybe something you might see in the future?
Yeah, I think a lot of different defenses are good for us. I think just going forward, we don't really know what each team is going to do. Obviously, we scout, but teams scout too, and so they know what they're going to try and take away from us. But I think that just plays into our depth. And if you take one person away, we have 13 others on the bench that are going to do their job. So I think we handled that pretty well.
Describe Callan Haig in that first half.
Fire. That's all. I think she's been putting in so much time, and just the leader that she is and the confidence that she instills in everybody else. It's just really good to see the confidence that she has in herself really shine through. And she just plays with so much joy and instills so much joy in us, and so it's really fun to see when she gets hot like that.
What's more impressive, her shooting or her defense?
I don't know. I think her consistency on both ends of the ball, and so I think when her shot's not falling, she's averaging 6 assists a game or something like that. So she's always finding ways to impact the game, but her defense is her staple, and she'll always tell you that defense is her thing, but I think just her confidence on both sides of the ball is really impressive.
There's a few games ago, Coach Williams really bragged on you when a team was throwing up different defenses. I mean, what kind of role do you feel like you have in when teams do try to start doing things funky defensively for you to knock some down from the outside to be able to mix it up in that regard?
Yeah, I think, again, just speaking to our depth when teams try and take away Braid or Callan or things like that, I think that opens a lot of things up for us. But I think our bigs do a really good job of grabbing a lot of attention, and so that opens up the three-point line a little bit. But I think just the way we share the ball, it's really hard for teams to take away everybody, and so just finding looks when I can.
What's it like being a part of a team like that? Because it's not always like that, but I mean, I think you had 29 assists tonight. That's got to be a lot of fun to be a part of a team that wants to spread the ball around.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and I think it just really speaks to the joy that we have playing with each other, and that's something we talked about in the locker room. Let our passion speak for itself. I think when we share the ball like that, obviously it's really hard to guard, and I think everybody, you look up at the scoreboard and it's 6-5, 4-3, everybody's scoring, everybody's doing their job, and so being able to spread the ball like that is just super fun, and I think the crowd kind of sees it when we get into it. Our passion speaks for itself.
I think it's really easy to talk about all the things you guys do offensively, but it doesn't happen without what you're doing on the defensive end, right? I mean, what kind of emphasis is that for this group? How much does that create what you guys do offensively?
Yeah, I think there's been multiple games this year where we've said, turn our defense into offense, and I think that just, sparks us. I think, obviously, getting on the floor, getting loose balls, all of that, but just taking passes away. I think we knew what Omaha was going to run tonight, and so being able to deny them, push them out of spacing, things like that, that obviously just helps us, and then cleaning things up on the boards. I think we gave up too many offensive rebounds tonight, but that's definitely been something that we've been trying to key in on.
It's very apparent you guys are very connected on the offensive end. Does it feel like that on the defensive end too? You guys feel like you're playing as one at all times there on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think we're definitely working towards that same connection that we have on offense. Obviously, sometimes offense is a little more flashy, a little more fun and whatever, but I think when we can get stops and push pace, I think we're really good. And so finding ways that we can just find that joy on defense. Obviously, taking charges, big energy pills is what we like to call those, and so just finding ways that we can find more opportunities for those.
What can you say about Britt and what she did tonight when they were trying to take her out of it? She found other ways to contribute and sharing the ball, getting steals, had I think 5 steals. Just her kind of understanding of what her role might be in a given night. How impressive was that tonight?
Yeah, I think that her maturity is just really showing this year. And obviously she's averaging 20 plus a game, and that's really awesome and that's really cool. But she doesn't brag about that at all. She's very humble, and just her work ethic speaks for itself. And so, like you said, 5 steals and on the boards all the time. And I think her defense really stepped up in the second half when she realized that maybe they were trying to take her away in offense. But I think Omaha trying to take her away is just the biggest respect that they can give her. And I think she handled that well and just found ways to help her teammates do other things.
The bench mob is impressive, and this has been a staple for the women's basketball team for several years now, but it's on a whole nother level this year. What's gone into the planning for the execution of what the bench mob does night in and night out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I think Nat and Al do a great job of getting everybody on the same page, but like I said, I think that speaks for our joy for each other, and just they find ways to help and contribute even when they're not able to play. And I think that just fuels us to play for them. And like I said, they get everybody on the same page. We have a new one every 3-point cheer, and it's just really fun to get to celebrate each other and then have those two always having our backs.
Connected on the defensive end, the offensive end, and on the bench.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it feels like.
You guys entered the top 25 this week. What does that mean to this team? Is it something that you guys are working for? Is it something you don't pay much attention to? How you guys are approaching now that number next to the Nebraska name?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to get some recognition, and we've been talking about people need to start talking about Nebraska, but I don't think that changing it changes anything for us. It just, like I said, the standard is our standard, and so just being able to play to that, and it just gives teams a bigger target on our backs, and so being ready night in and night out.
Just moving forward, as you guys are starting to close out non-conference play, what needs to continue to happen for this team to be ready to roll come Big Ten conference play, where it is a grind every night?
Yeah, I think our consistency on defense, and then just getting on the same page on offense. I think when we are kind of stagnant, don't really have much pace, that's when our offense gets a little up and down, and then just defensively, just really keying in on the scout, knowing our personnel, and then finishing with a rebound.
Jess Petrie's family's here. She seemed pretty fired up today.
Yes, they surprised her with both the younger siblings. So it was supposed to be just her parents and her youngest sister, Emma, but the 2 young ones, Holly and Will, showed up. So it's just so nice that they can come and hang out, and they're just such a special part of her. And so I think when they get to come watch her, it fires her up a little bit because she gets to play for something.
I think that's also what's neat about this group is I stopped you going to see them, and you guys are all close with each other's families. I mean, that's got to be an important part of the chemistry, right?
100%. And we always say with our internationals, our families are their families, and so when they don't have their families here, they always come out to eat with us, or they always do things with our families. And so it's really nice that her family gets to come, and they're so supportive of us, and they're always texting us, DMing us, whatever it is. And our parents are super close with them. I know our parents have been in contact for a while now, and after every game, my mom was always like, oh my gosh, Sarah Petrie DM'd me during school. And they wake up early, they go to bed late watching games, and so their support for her has been really nice to see. And I know last year when they came to the California trips, it sparked a new peach, and so I think her getting to see them has really just been peaceful for her.
Last thing, it's been pretty cool the way Husker Nation has been fired up about both basketball teams. How cool is it to start for both men's and women's basketball? I mean, I think 3 teams in the country have both undefeated teams for both men's and women's basketball. How cool is that to be kind of sharing the limelight with men's hoops?
I think it's so awesome. I mean, obviously our men's program is doing so well, and I think we just cheer each other on. I mean, we always see each other in the hallways. Obviously we have connected gyms and stuff, but just their connectivity I think looks really well, and their defense is unbelievable. I don't really understand it, but it's really fun to watch. And then their ability to shoot the ball has been really impressive, and I think turning defense into offense is something that's super cool to watch for them. But our connectivity off the floor just makes it a lot more fun because we're all friends.
Awesome. Great stuff. Always a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you. You too.
I love talking with Logan Nissley. She's such a great interview. I told her afterwards I wasn't going to keep her that long because, the fans all stand and wait to get autographs. They go back out and sign autographs, and then Jess Petrie's family was there. So I was I won't take too long. But then she's so good, I just kept asking her questions. But I just think you get a sense talking to her. I asked her about the bench mob, and just they were all wanting to go talk to Jess Petrie's family. I mean, it's just a group, and I know it's cliche when teams talk about how close they are and their chemistry off the court, but this is a program that Amy Williams puts a lot of emphasis in that, and they are really, really a tight-knit bunch, and I think that's a big factor to why they've been able to get off to the start they have.
And I think, too, it shows in recruiting, right? When recruits come through here and they see the chemistry, and some of your current players are help recruiting some of your future players, and We've talked about how awesome they've been in recruiting, Amy and that entire staff. I think that goes to the chemistry and the culture that's been built. And this is a team with, a lot of expectation this year. Maybe get to a second weekend of the NCAA tournament, and they certainly have a team talent-wise to do that, led by Britt Prince.
All right, so coming up next for Nebraska women's basketball, back at home inside PBA on Sunday, December 14th, 11 a.m. against Illinois State, and you can get tickets to that one and future games coming up because, hey, there are 2 games left before it is Big Ten Conference play, opening up with USC on Monday, December 29th. So again, Huskers.com/tickets to be there these next couple of home games. Final tune-ups before they are at it with Big Ten Conference play. All right, going to get to a break. Coming up next, we'll talk a little football. Had a chance to chat with Andrew Marshall, who was a big advocate for the new defensive coordinator. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate it. And F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power on board.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus zero down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier. The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. So we've talked a lot of hoops and have not. We had a quick show yesterday, so we kind of flew through all of the news that unfolded. That Coach Rule, when he met with the media yesterday, he addressed a lot of the things that the news items that have been circling this program. But he talked a lot about the new hires and what he likes about those. Because again, it was like drinking through a fire hose yesterday when we were trying to talk through everything. Was there anything newsworthy that he talked about the most that you were most intrigued by in his press conference yesterday?
I think just the process, the interview process with the defensive coordinator, Rob Orich, and how that sort of went about, and it wasn't necessarily traditional, and how they went to his daughter's rec league games and trying to get him to see whether that he was able to think fast on his feet, not in a traditional interview sense where you have PowerPoints and presentations and you're trying to win over a whole room, but in the chaos of a basketball. I just thought that aspect of it was pretty cool, and how Coach Rule was wiped off his feet and he canceled a couple of future interviews for the position. And there were some rumblings of, okay, this might be the name, that might be the name. Coach Rule's interviewing this person, and then for Orich to come in, who has a couple of stops as a defensive coordinator, not at the Big Ten level or Power 4 level, San Diego State and Idaho. You just wonder how that translates, and you'd have to trust Coach Rule and what he's seen in terms of the physicality, intensity of what he sees on tape, that it is going to translate.
One of the references Coach Rule turned to is on his current football team, as Andrew Marshall played for Coach Orich back at Idaho, and so there's a little bit of a crossover there. And Coach Rule asked Andrew Marshall about him, and Marshall had nothing but raving things to say, and I had a chance to chat with the defensive back about that and amongst the preparation for bowl practices and preparing for Utah. Here's my conversation with Andrew Marshall. I guess start with the last couple of weeks since the loss to Iowa. What's the approach been? What have you guys been able to accomplish?
The approach for us, like these past couple of weeks, is just building on to like our physicality, just getting our bodies back, from overall the season. But yeah, just focusing on the physicality, focusing on for this next bowl game, what type of game it's going to be.
So then, how did you guys feel? How do you feel personally after battling through an entire season? Does your body feel all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm made it out. Now it's just kind of like building it back up, getting it ready for this bowl game.
How excited is this group for this opportunity? I know a lot of disappointment in the last 2 games, but to have another chance, how hungry is this group for this opportunity?
I think we're all hungry. I feel like even though, the last 2 weeks didn't go how we planned, we made it to a bowl game, which, we can say we have because a lot of teams didn't make it. So, we have something to look forward to, something to go hard for. So that's really our main focus.
How exciting is this for you personally, getting to go to a bowl game with Nebraska?
It's big. This will be my first bowl game ever, really, and we'll be in, it's predicted to be in Vegas, which is close to home. So I'll have a lot of family come out. So, yeah, I'm just taking this whole experience in.
What did you learn? Obviously, the season's not done yet, but you played so well in your first season as a Husker. What were some of the things you kind of took away from the last few months?
Just how much, like, the little details matter. Just how much, like, being in this position, like being in this position and that position matters, and how it affects the play. Just everything comes down to the little things.
Coach Rula has announced that Addison Williams sticking on. What does that mean to you personally, and how important has he been to you in your season here?
He's been big. When he first got here, he told me that, like, I was going to be one of his guys. So it's big. I'm glad that he's staying on. I want to continue working with him and, just building up on my last year.
Coach Orich, you're familiar with him. Matt Rule just talked about it. Tell us, what do we need to know about him?
Coach Orich, he's a great guy. Rambunctious, free-spirited. He's gonna keep it 100 with you. He's a very passionate guy on the field. He reflects. He trusts and he loves his guys. You're gonna see how it reflects on the field.
Yes, to say, what is it about what he does defensively that it translates to success on the field?
He puts his guys in positions to make plays. Like he knows. Like his guys can compete, so he's gonna put you in that spotlight to go and make a play. So, and who doesn't love being in the spotlight making plays?
Coach Rule talked about how he trusted your opinion and he chatted with you about it. What does that mean to you to have Coach Rule's trust in having these kinds of conversations?
I think it's big. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm honored that he trusts my opinion and he sees, like, he evaluates what I have to think about, our defensive coordinator. So, I just take it all in. I'm very appreciative of it.
What do you feel like you've done that has earned that trust?
I just think my work, just how I hold myself to a certain standard, just how I compete on and off the field, it doesn't go unnoticed. So.
Have you chatted with Coach Orich yet?
I haven't. I'm waiting till he get here. I want to talk to him in person, really, sit down and conversate with him. So. Yeah.
You're excited to reunite, though.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, and then, pointing to some of the younger defensive backs, I know this is your first bowl, too, but a lot of these guys had a lot of growth here this time a year ago. But can you speak to just guys like Donovan Jones, Rex Guthrie, and the jumps that they've been able to make here throughout the season?
Yeah, most definitely. It's an ongoing, football is an ongoing thing. Throughout the weeks, they've picked up things, and they've gotten a lot better, which you can see and reflects in their game. I feel like this time now it's just like, getting our bodies back, getting our mind right, and making sure that we're honing in on the little details that they have to focus on. They've been doing very well.
Okay, so then I know it's your first time, but what needs to happen for this group here over the next few weeks to get done? What needs to get done, not just for the bowl game, but, again, positioning for this program moving forward? I don't want to say a shift in mentality, but kind of like just redirecting our focus, focusing on our physicality, which is a big thing for us. And then just coming together and some of the adversity. What role do some of the older guys on the team, when there's some shifting in the coaching staff? It happens, right? It's college football, but it's a never easy process. So what role do you guys have in helping this team kind of come together and get through this?
Yeah, a lot of times, around this time of the year, things start to happen, change and shifts, and things can get a little chaotic. So our job is really just to keep our team grounded, keep us focused on, the goal ahead of us, which is our bowl game. Just keep us focused, everything will be fine. Everything will sort itself out.
How do you feel about just this team's mentality about moving forward through these next 3 weeks, getting done what needs to be done?
Big. We're honing in. I can tell you we're extremely focused on what's ahead of us, and we're preparing to compete at a very high level.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Great stuff there from Andrew Marshall. And I think, again, critical that we talked a lot about this with the signees. Some of the younger guys that they just signed are able to come and go through bowl practices and get an early feel of Nebraska football. But it's really big during this time. This is a huge development point for a football program, that these new coaches can get in here and be around and get acclimated with some of the guys during this time before they even play Utah.
That's why it's so important to make a bowl. You could win, lose the bowl game, but you need those developmental practices. Part of our talking points yesterday was there's a lot of guys that are going to see opportunities, including in the running back room, offensive line, defensive line, perhaps in the secondary. Some of the younger guys that we're seeing the second team, third team reps or scout team reps where you're not getting an opportunity to showcase your skills. And Coach Rule said for a lot of these guys, this is the most important time of their football lives. If you want to showcase what you could be for a new defensive coordinator or a new coach in your room, this is the opportunity to do that when you have expanded reps. So for a lot of these guys, it's an incredibly important time. Also really important for the two new hires, expecting the third sometime soon, of course, with the news that Terry Braden's not going to be retained as defensive line coach. So there's a lot of things up in the air right now about who's going to play what and who's going to be on the depth chart for that Las Vegas game.
We are working with Keith Mann, the extraordinaire football media relations here at Nebraska. He's going to help us get some interviews with these new assistant coaches and when they get settled in, and we can figure out the timing because, again, there's a lot going on. But we're going to hopefully be able to bring you those conversations to you here first on the Huskers Radio Network. All right, got to step aside for a break. Final segment coming up right after this.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time.
A great time to buy Ranger, Maverick.
Slate It, and F-Series.
America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. Let's light them up.
Now that's some holiday power.
That's holiday pro power on board.
It's like a mobile generator.
Get 0% limited term financing plus 0 down and no payments for 90 days on select Ford vehicles during the year-end sales event at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at appliedconnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
Welcome back. Final few minutes here for Kyle Crooks and myself, Jessica Coody, here on Sports Nightly before we will hand things over to Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith for the pregame show leading up to tip-off between Nebraska and Wisconsin men's basketball. But huge news in college football again today, and could very well send the coaching carousel spinning again as Michigan has fired their head coach, Sharon Moore.
Yeah, with cause, too, and these are the reports that are out there. Michigan has put out a statement as well. Biff Poggi is the interim head coach for the moment, but now it opens up a whole lot of conversations. But so the quote is in the report, there's credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, so he was fired with cause. Really shocking. With the amount of open jobs we saw in the college football landscape, now an opening like Michigan, that's a top-tier blue blood opportunity. And a name that I thought of right away is, okay, does a Marcus Freeman or somebody like that all of a sudden move from a Notre Dame to a Michigan, or somebody at a Power 4 blue blood that views
Lane Kiffin?
Does Lane Kiffin have another? Does Marty Smith have to sit and wait for Lane Kiffin to make a decision? But I feel like there's now going to be another big name that you would never have expected to move, that is at a current blue blood or at a big program, that now is sitting back in their chair and is be like,
I mean, you got to think Michigan's going to go
and they can hire
get
big.
a big.
They can hire big. You got to compete with Ohio State. It's
could very well set the dominoes off again.
Yes, and who fills that spot of what presumed is whoever's going to go to Michigan's probably leaving a really big job. And
has this been the craziest coaching cycle?
Just think of what athletic directors are thinking now. How many ADs now are scrambling, saying, "Oh, we have to now go to our coach's agent to see, are they sniffing around this Michigan job, and do we have to talk about extension to pay more money," as to what we saw at Penn State and Coach Rule. It's just, there's such a massive domino effect when a job like a Michigan or Ohio State opens up, an LSU that, I mean, LSU dictated the market essentially during this recent, all these coaching openings. And when you get a top 5, top 3 coach opening, it makes everybody is just on the edge of their seat now.
Michigan, we can't go a full year without them having this scandal.
I thought Sharon Moore was going to probably get fired maybe after next year, right? If they don't make the playoff. I think he was probably on thin ice as it is. And, good point there with the sign stealing scandal and now this, and it's Sharon Moore's own doing, right? So for Michigan, they can't seem to get out of their own way. And this is...
But still, it's like you said, though, it's going to be pretty enticing.
Think of it now, too. The portal opens up on January 2nd. You've already had signing day. There's people that just signed.
And let's face it, conversations are already being had.
And now, how much of their roster is going to get poached? Like, if you're Coach Rule sitting in that office right now, Ryan Day sitting in Ohio State, you're sitting back in your chair and say, okay, let's call that guy, let's text that guy. Are you happy here? Are you going to stay here? And now their roster, this is right before the portal opens up. How many of those guys are going to dip? Right, and I mean that sets Michigan back. And now it depends on the hire. They can get a hire that could fix a whole lot of things pretty quickly.
But not ideal timing.
Oh my goodness! My goodness!
Well, crazy stuff. All right, well, we can talk about this more tomorrow. We've got a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly coming up tomorrow night for you. We're going to talk lots of volleyball. Lauren Cook West is going to be the ladies of HRN. We're giving you the boot, Kyle.
I know. I get kicked out.
So we'll talk to Lauren, preview the regional weekend for Husker volleyball. And we're also going to hear from another one of the top programs here on campus, Husker Rifle, #1 team in the country.
Love it.
Lots to get to tomorrow, full 2 hours. But for now, we'll send things over to Kent Pavelka and Jeff Smith. A big one for Nebraska men's basketball coming up against Wisconsin. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Contracting your premium diesel just got energized at Central Valley Ag. With CVA's Refer a Friend program, you and a friend can each earn $100 back. Refer a friend, that friend contracts a minimum of 1,000 gallons of premium diesel, and you both get a $100 credit. Power your performance with Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster and Roadmaster XL. Details at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142.